From a small screen bartender to a big screen Renaissance man, he sure has come a long way. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're taking a look at how Woody Harrelson got famous. Woody Harrelson is one of those rare actors whose career has spanned multiple decades. He initially rose to fame in the 1980s playing Woody Boyd on NBC's Cheers.
This is amazing. Hundreds of bottles. Red and white wine glasses. High-grade log stool covers. And a brass rail.
Trust us when we say it's one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. And your parents probably loved it. Maybe a bit before your time, though.
We don't even have a manual. How are you going to hook that thing up?
Easy, Sam. They included a special videotape showing exactly how to hook everything up. So all we have to do is hook everything up, watch the tape, and then we'll know exactly what to do.
Harrelson subsequently broke into film in the 90s with movies like Natural Born Killers, White Men Can't Jump, and The People vs. Larry Flynt, for which he received an Academy Award nomination.
You don't want to quit me. I'm your dream client. I'm the most fun, I'm rich, and I'm always in trouble.
Despite his success in the 80s and 90s, the 2010s seemed to be his best decade. He received 2 Outstanding Lead Actor Emmy nominations for his work in Game Change and True Detective.
You know, they used to call him the tax man for a while. He come out of Texas, so nobody knew him.
Those roles further earned him 2 Golden Globe and 2 Screen Actors Guild nominations. He received his 3rd Academy Award nomination, playing the cancer-stricken Bill Willoughby in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. And he also made appearances in blockbuster features, playing Haymitch in the Hunger Games series, Merritt McKinney in Now You See Me, the Colonel in War for the Planet of the Apes, and Tobias Beckett in Solo: A Star Wars Story. In short, Harrelson has not just spanned generations. He's gotten better and even more popular with age. But where did it all start? How does a humble and mumbly man from Midland, Texas become one of the biggest movie stars on the planet? Well, let's find out.
Well, let's see. You're a good bartender. You've never had a vacation. You've never been out sick.
Here's a hint. It involves a particularly wacky audition and some fierce nose blowing.
Did you say you're looking for work?
Well, actually, I came to Boston on a fact-finding tour. See, I tend bar back home in Indiana. Well, it's not a bar exactly. It's more like a pigsty with the jukebox. If we had a jukebox.
Woodrow Harrelson was born in Midland on July 23, 1961. Now, we're no meteorologists, but we're gonna assume it was a hot and sticky day in Texas. He was born to a secretary named Diane and an encyclopedia salesman / professional gambler named Charles, who also happened to carry a recent conviction for armed robbery. Woody had a relatively normal Texas upbringing until 1968, when Charles left the family. At that point, and we're not joking, Charles was working as a hitman.
You'll never understand, Wayne. You and me, we're not even the same species.
In the late 60s, he was tried for killing 2 men, Alan Harry Berg and Sam DeGiulia Jr. Acquitted for the first murder, the second earned him 15 years in prison, although he was released after 5 for good behavior. But the killing didn't stop there. Not long after being paroled in 1978, Charles was convicted of murdering District Judge John H. Wood Jr.
It is literally a candy lane of murder and mayhem.
He had been hired by a drug trafficker named Jamil Chagra, who was scheduled to appear before the stringent Judge Wood. Charles was convicted and sentenced to 2 life terms for the murder. He died in prison in 2007. Jamil Chagra would reveal in 2003 that someone else had killed Judge Wood, but Charles's conviction was never overturned. Due to his clandestine activities, persistent court appearances, and extended prison time, Charles was not around for Woody's upbringing. Woody and his 2 brothers were raised by their single mother, Diane, whose job as a secretary did not afford the family financial security. Despite being raised poor, Woody has fond memories of his childhood and his mother, telling the Financial Times, quote, "We were poor, but my mom always took care of us, and we always had food. It was a lot to raise 3 kids on her own as a secretary, but she did it, and she sure did look after us." The Harrelson family later moved to Diane's home state of Ohio, and Woody attended Lebanon High School. He moved to Indiana to attend Hanover College and received a Bachelor of Arts in Theater and English. However, as we all grudgingly know, a BA in theater does not a movie star make. Woody decided to leave the Midwest behind and moved to New York with a friend to pursue a career in theater. He quickly found some success and landed small roles in various New York stage productions. But the stage isn't where Harrelson would find his fame. In 1982, a sitcom called Cheers started airing on NBC. It starred Ted Danson as Sam Malone, a retired baseball pitcher who ran a bar in Boston. One of the main characters was Coach Pantuso, Sam Malone's old baseball coach turned bartender.
Say, aren't you Winnie Pantuso?
Are you talking to me, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Well, I'll be damned.
The actor, a man named Nicholas Colasanto, had been a longtime sufferer of heart disease, and he passed away from a heart attack in February of 1985. Cheers was in the middle of its third season. The show needed a replacement, and auditions were held in Los Angeles. Woody was set to take an understudy position for a play in New York, but decided to fly out to LA and try for Cheers.
We got guys like you back in Hanover. You know what we call them?
What?
Sir. But after we say it, we roll our eyes.
The only thing was, he really didn't think he would get it. His heart wasn't in television. The producers had practically decided on someone already, and Woody's audition was basically a formality. However, Woody impressed the casting director, who in turn took him to meet the show's writers. Woody happened to be blowing his nose as he walked through the writing room door, and the writers found it absolutely gut-busting. He'd made the room laugh without even auditioning, let alone saying a word. According to Woody, Cheers director Jimmy Burrows told him he had the part right then and there.
Sammy. It's more to life than money.
No, you didn't get the raise.
I got something much better. You're looking at Cheers' new senior bartender.
It's amazing to think that a simple nose blow can prove so fortuitous and life-changing. Isn't life funny? Harrelson was cast as the dim-witted Woody Boyd, and Cheers was changed forever. The show's ratings increased dramatically, and it was placed in the middle of NBC's famous Thursday night lineup, along with The Cosby Show, Family Ties, Night Court, and Hill Street Blues. The fourth season was also critically acclaimed, receiving 8 nominations at the 38th Primetime Emmy Awards. 5 of those nominations were for acting, as Ted Danson, Shelley Long, John Ratzenberger, George Wendt, and Rhea Perlman all received nominations in their respective categories. Rhea Perlman was the only winner of the group.
Carla, I'd like you to meet Woody Boyd. Woody, this is Carla Tortella.
Hi, ma'am.
Ma'am. What's that supposed to mean?
Woody Harrelson and Kelsey Grammer were the only main cast members to not be nominated, but that would soon change.
I heard you used to be a psychiatrist, Dr. Crane.
Yes. I once belonged to that ridiculous profession where pompous intellectuals get together and discuss the illusion that there's something they can do to alter the human situation and deny that man is condemned to a life of bitterness and despair.
Yeah, but you got your weekends off.
The following year, Woody received his first of 5 Emmy nominations for playing Woody Boyd, and he won for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series in 1989. By 1991, this humble mumbler from Texas was a 5-time Emmy-nominated actor. Cheers ended in 1993, and Woody Harrelson had appeared in 200 episodes. Harrelson quickly transitioned to film, starring in the comedy drama White Men Can't Jump alongside Wesley Snipes.
Oh, rabbit ears, am I starting to get to you?
No, Sidney, you aren't getting to me. You're just making my eardrums hurt. See, the thing is, you guys look at me, you see the backwards hat, the gray socks, the funky outfit, and you say, now this guy's a chump, am I right?
The movie was well received and grossed over $90 million at the box office. The transition to film and drama proved relatively painless. He starred in Indecent Proposal in 1993 and Natural Born Killers the following year.
Maybe something inside you told you to. You know, like fate. You believe in fate, Mallard?
Maybe.
In 1997, Harrelson was nominated for his first Academy Award for playing pornographic magazine publisher Larry Flynt in The People vs. Larry Flynt. Unfortunately, the late 90s and early 2000s proved a little slow for the now Oscar-nominated actor. He still got roles, starring in the likes of Ed TV, North Country, and A Scanner Darkly, but his stardom seemed to be fading. But then the Coen brothers came along in 2007, and Harrelson starred as Carson Wells in their critically acclaimed No Country for Old Men. The movie's cast received the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Cast, and it served as Woody's first major award nomination since 1996.
You don't have to do this. I'm a day trader. I could just go home.
You could.
Make it worth your while. Take you to an ATM. There's 14 grand in it.
It single-handedly revived Harrelson's career, and in 2009, he received his second Oscar nomination, which was just one of many nominations for his work in Oren Moverman's The Messenger. That same year, he starred in Zombieland, a mainstream comedy which likely led to roles in more prosperous mainstream blockbusters like The Hunger Games.
Oh, Joy.
Why don't you join us? I was just giving some life-saving advice.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Harrelson has done a lot of transitioning in his time, but it was all for the better. He went from small-time theater to television, a move he didn't particularly want to make, but which turned out prosperous for the young actor.
Just having fun.
He then transitioned from TV to film and comedy to drama and back again. And despite a brief slump, Harrelson would go on to star in The Hunger Games, Now You See Me, and War for the Planet of the Apes.
Jesus Christ, you are impressive.
It's clear that whatever Harrelson does, he does it with a lot of heart. And his story proves that a simple nose blow can change the course of a life forever. So don't be afraid to let loose with a real honker every now and again.
Well, this slinky thing, it ain't over yet.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.